Hello everyone. I'd like just to bring here the introduction and the training on the Reyrolle 5. And yeah, let's get started. And Reyrolle 5, it's a new generation for Reyrolle relays. And Reyrolle, it's a global brand. It's a British company with more than 100 years in the market. In 2006, Siemens acquired this company that called Reyrolle, and now all the Reyrolle relates part of the Siemens. Reyrolle 5, it Reyrolle 5 is a new protection relay, a new platform for protection relays, and yeah, and was introduced in 2019. What this generation bring to us? First, comprehensive functionality as a standard, and you don't have a digit on the part number that say, okay, this device has voltage protection or frequency protection. Everything comes as standard. All the protection functions and comes as standard. You don't pay more for protection functions, and all the protection function comes as standard. Also, communication, all the protocol of communications and comes as standard. It's like 62850, DNP3, and also Modbus, either serial or TCP/IP. Enhanced process data. This device gives you fault data, event records, and contracts that it's the waveform, and you just download this information from the relay using the software that we call Rate Disk Manager version 2. Cybersecurity. This device it's comply with the latest standard on the cybersecurity. Okay. Intuitive design. This device it's very simple to configure and this device bring all the comprehensive protection functions, but the configuration of the device it's very simple. Versatile interface. This device has a universal power supply from 24 VDC for 250, also 1 amp and 5 amp CT inputs, and all the inputs you can select the threshold, the voltage threshold via software. Okay, and reliable and efficient life cycle management. This device has sign firmware that you cannot change any part of the firmware. That's a very reliable device. When you select this device, there are just few things that you need to worry. The number of inputs, definitely if you're going to have the device with more inputs or less inputs, the device will be a little bit wider or narrow. And also the comms, if the device is going to come with RJ45 or fiber, okay, and if the device need to have arc flash. And these are three things that you need to order when you set the part number of the device. Everything else comes as standard, okay. Protection functions, protocol of communication, and universal power supply, and 1 amp and 5 amp CT. These the points that you don't need to worry. Okay, this application for this device, we start with the generation, distribution, and infrastructure. These are three applications that we recommend this device. We have the device in three cases. Here just show two. There is the middle one. That's exactly it's here. I have a picture that show the median size. This is the smallest. This is the biggest. In terms of protection functions, we start with the 7SR 5110. This is a feeder relay. This device brings to just CT. That means that's a no directional relay. And these all the protection functions that you can achieve just using the CT as input. Okay, special mention about the restrict error fault for low impedance and high impedance. That's possible on this device. Okay, supervision for trip coil, closed coil, and circuit breaker fail, CT supervision in rush. It's possible on this device. and also the control of the circuit breaker. Okay, you have the control of the circuit breaker, you have their outlet close and lockout on this device. The second option, that would be the 7SR5111. This device is still a feeder device, and but this device brings to you a VT input. That means that this device is a directional relay. These other protection functions that you can perform using CT, VT, and power protection. Okay, special mention for the renewables now, that reverse power, also frequency protection, and also vector shift. Okay, that's very common for renewables. The same supervision as mentioned before, the control as well, it's possible. There is one option on this device that you can have a fifth CT input, okay, and this device will be not cannot perform transformer protection. This particular model, okay, cannot protect, but bring to you a fifth input for the neutral here that you can perform any type of overcurrent for the neutral. Okay. Okay, we go with the second application. That's the transformer relay, 7SR543, 3 for 3 windings and 542 for 2 windings. Okay, these are very typical solution when we talk about renewable power plants. You can perform the protection for the 3 winding transformer. Definitely, if this device is a transformer relay, we have the transformer differential on this device as well. Also, you can perform backup protection like 50, 51 per each leg. Okay, the income and the 2 outgoings, or yeah, or the 2 collectors and also the outgoing here. It depends if it's a generation or load. And yeah, the supervision of the trip coil, closed coils, and the control of the circuit breakers, it's possible as well. The last option, that would be the 7SR5711. This device, it's a motor relay. Okay, we have this device with and without motor differential. Okay, and yeah, this is more applicable for water utilities where they have very big motors like minings as well. And yeah, these are 3 applications. First one, that would be the feeder protection. Second one, the transformer protection. And the third one, that's the motor. Okay, and soon we're going to have line differential on this device as well. As I mentioned, this device is capable to perform arc flash, and this is the arc flash card, okay, together with the comms card. These the comms here, you have option for RJ45 or fiber. You need to set, when you select the device, which type of connection you're going to use for the Ethernet connection, either RJ45 or fiber. Also, you have option for serial communication if you're going to use Modbus or DNP3 or IC103. And the arc flash, you need to set, when you select the relay, select the part number of the relay. Always gonna bring 3 inputs for the arc flash, and also this green connector here, that's the high speed binary outputs. Okay, there are 2 types of sensor. One sensor, that's the point sensor. The point sensor, usually we protect the cable compartment. We put one facing up inside of the cable compartment and one facing down, and where you can overlap the region of protection inside of the cable compartment. Also, we have the line sensor. These are naked fiber that you can go with this line sensor up to 40 meters, 20 meters to go on the bus bar and 20 meters to return on the bus bar, that you can protect the bus bar. The point sensor, more local and more centralized, and for the cable compartment, and here that's for the bus bar protection. Okay, you have 2 options. You can have the line as a trigger for the protection, just a light, and the device using the high-speed binary outputs can trip in less than 6 milliseconds. When you combine light and current, the device can trip in less than 12 milliseconds. Okay. As I mentioned, this is the medium size, and that was missing. And this device, it's withdrawable. If you're gonna replace this device for any reason, and you don't need to remove any wire at the back, the only wire that you need to remove that the comms, either the fiber or a J45, you just unplug the comms, and you can pull. There is this lever on top and bottom. You just undo or unscrew the bolts here, and you can pull the device out of the case, and the case stay on the panel, and you just remove the core of the relay. For the CT connections, as soon as you remove the core of the relay out of the case, the CT connection to be shorted here. Okay, and yeah, you don't really need the external CT uh, um, links, and to short externally. As soon as you remove the device, gonna there is springs here inside that gonna short the CTs. Okay, the software to program this relay we call Reyrolle Manager version 2. Okay, there are the Reyrolle Manager version 1 for the legacy of Reyrolle that we call Reyrolle Ergas, and now the version 2 was designed for Reyrolle 5. But don't worry, if you install the software, there is one installer to install the whole package, version 1, version 2. Okay, and yeah, I'm gonna touch on the software later on. And if you need to navigate through the menu of the relay, you can go in this website. I recommend to use Microsoft Edge browser. In order to open this, you just type virtualrelay.net and you select the protection relay. The relay gonna boot as the normal relay in front of you, and you can just navigate through the menus. And if you need to support someone on site and the person is in front of the device and need to change the CT ratio or something like that, you can navigate with him on the phone, and you can see the screen of the relay. At least you have a guidance to support someone on site to navigate through the menu of the relay. Basically, this is what I'd like to present in terms of introduction. And now we're gonna move to the software. Okay. Before to talk about the software, I'd like to show you where you're gonna get the software and what the components that you need to install in your computer in order to have all the software installed. Okay, and yeah, I recommend that everybody goes on the C portal, C for Siemens portal. Okay, and this is what we need to go. That's this the Siemens, what we call C portal, and you just click here and you're gonna land on this page. Okay, and here if you need to get some manuals and software, always you need to go on the support. Okay, if you need to get some catalogs and if you need to get some data sheets of the device, you go and click on the products and service. That in this case we are looking for the software or manuals, and you're gonna click on support. Okay, and yeah, you're gonna land here, and here on support you're gonna search what you'd like to check. That in this case I'm gonna put Reyrolle 5. Okay, Reyrolle 5. This the Reyrolle 5 page. Okay, and here you can see that you're gonna have 7SR5. Okay, that's the Reyrolle 5. That would be the operation manual, the hardware manual, the template for the LEDs. If you need to print the LED strip, and you just click here to download the template for the LEDs. Okay, the engineering guide, the communication protocol manual. Okay, the drawings and the diagrams. Okay, and for 7SR 5, that would be CProtect 5. Okay, the security manual. This is the 61850 manual for the relay. Okay, and also you're gonna see here the 3 applications that I mentioned would be the feeder or overcurrent, transformer, and the motor. 7SR51. Okay, that's the manual for the overcurrent. Let me check here. That's the transformer. And the next page, potentially, we're going to see the 7SR57. That would be the motor. Okay. Yeah. But there are several manuals that you can see here, and all the manuals call you need to check 7SR5. That would be the CProtect 5. Here you can see some manuals for 7SR11. 11 is not the Reyrolle 5. That's the legacy that we call Reyrolle Ergas. Okay, and good. What you need to know here, first, after you get all the manuals, if you need, in order to get the software it has 2 parts. Okay, let me draw something here for you guys that you guys can understand. Let me do my drawings here. Okay, let's assume that you need to configure the relay, and this is the relay here. Okay, for sure that this relay has a firmware loaded on this device. Okay, at this stage we don't know where's the firmware. Okay, and now you have your laptop. In your laptop you have RayDisp Manager. Sorry about my RayDisp Manager version 2. Okay, you have this software installed. That the latest version today, it's 2.60. Okay, that in this case you can configure any device from firmware 2.6 below. That's the software. It's backwards compatible. Okay. Let's assume that this device has firmware 2.10. Okay, or 2.40, something like that. Okay, how are we gonna configure with software 2.6 relays on firmware 2.10, 2.40? This is what you need, these device firmware and templates. Okay, here it's part of the installation. You need to get these templates. Okay, and as you can see, the latest template, it's 2.60. Okay, for the relay with firmware 2.60. This is the template, this is the firmware for the relay. Okay, and let's assume that your device has firmware 2.10 as I mentioned, and you need to get this template here. Okay, 2.10. And after, when you get this file here, okay, you need to import this file inside of RayDisc Manager, that you can have the software running on the 2.60, but you're gonna configure the relay 7SR51 on the version 2.10. Okay, that basically the software divides into installer or 2 installations. Let me divide here. Okay, first installation, that the firmware or the template or the device drive we call device drives. Okay, that would be this page here, that the device drives or the device firmware, and the software itself, that would be this, the software itself. Okay, you need to get these 2 bricks, and the first one, that would be this, the firmware one. You need to check which firmware your device was so when the device was sold or delivered to you, which version of the firmware that the device has. You guys gonna see how we're gonna check right now. When the device is booting, you can see in the front of the display the version of the firmware. Let's wait a little bit, and this is gonna come up. this device it's loaded on the version 2.41, and yeah, and after, if the device is already on, you can check via the menu, and if you just go down until device information, go to the right, go down, and you're gonna see that's the version 2.41. That's the device drive that you need to download. Also, you can check using the serial number. Using the serial number, it's different. You need to have access for this website here. I'm gonna put the website here on the video, but it's the testreports.mwb.siemens.cloud, and you just put the serial number of the device and click I'm not a robot, and put here the cars, and yep, and verify. And after, you're gonna download the test certificate of this device, and on the test certificate you can see what's the version of the firmware that was delivered on this device. That's this particular one, that's this serial number, and was on the version 2.40. Okay, these are the test certificates that show when the device was tested, and here that everything was tested. You can get this and put as a document for your project. Okay, that's all. And now, after you check the firmware version, you just click here. Let's assume on this example we had version 2.41, and yeah, that would be this one here. I need to download this one here. Okay, that's let's assume that's already downloaded, and I go back, and I'm gonna put Reyrolle manager. Reyrolle manager that you're gonna see this here. That's the device software. Okay, and when you click here on the device software, you're gonna be landed on the Reyrolle manager version 2.60. That's be the latest software. Okay, and you're gonna click here and download. Definitely you need to have your registration and on the site, and in order to download the software. That at the end, in this particular example that I gave, I have one file that's the device drive with version 2.41 and the software on the 2.60. First, I recommend that you install this first, okay, and after you're going to install this one here. Okay, and basically what the software going to do, it's to import this device drive inside of this version of the software in order to configure the relay 7SR 5 on the version 2.41. Okay, I think that was clear. And now let's get inside of the software.